Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with on the fight front once again. As you know, last night, Jean Pascal, somebody I consider damaged goods, he pretty much got dominated by Dmitry Bivol. Dmitry Bivol defended his light heavyweight title once again. Overall, man, I felt like a lot of people, I felt like that this fight was going to be kind of a blowout, kind of another fight for Dmitry Bivol to add to his knockout reel. Because I'm one to admit that I feel like Jean Pascal, he needs to hang it up at this point in his career. I've always kind of felt, even after the Kovalev fights, that he was damaged goods because, I felt like he really took some brutal punishment in those fights. And going into this fight, it wasn't so much as the brutal punishment. I mean, he was taking a lot of hard shots, but this was just the type of fight to just show you that he's definitely was missing a beat now. And, he was just getting beat to the punch all night. He was really slow and lethargic to me. From round one, he kind of was posing like he used to. He looked like he was kind of posing the same threat, kind of with that awkward style. Kind of models it after Roy Jones. He likes to kind of leap in with those left hooks and those wild right hands. He kind of bull rushes his way in, kind of throws his opponent off. But he was trying that against a younger, faster guy. And it just wasn't working tonight. It just wasn't working because, like I said, he's a lot slower. You can just kind of time him at this point. You could even see that he was missing those wild shots by a mile. He was throwing those wild left hooks in the first few rounds, and Bivol was already to one side. He was already dipping out at another angle. So overall, it was just one of those fights. I kind of felt like not much you can really prove off of this fight. It was just kind of a stay busy fight for Dmitry Bivol. All the way to the end, Jean Pascal, he stayed game, but, I guess people have to kind of understand the difference between being a warrior and being a punching bag. At this point in his career, if he's not really coming to win, it's kind of hard to say he's a warrior. You know what I mean? If a guy's coming to just take punishment, and for you to say, oh, he has a good chin, oh man, look, he's definitely staying in there. He's slugging it out, but he wasn't really slugging it out at any moment in the fight. He was just kind of sitting there a lot of the times posing and then trying to time Bivol, but Bivol was already outspeeding him and out punching him. Even though Bivol wasn't really landing too many clean shots, he was staying busy the whole time, and he was just kind of able to outpoint him and, like I said, land the harder punches even on his guard. There was a lot of times it was almost like the Manny Pacquiao-Claude fight. He was kind of coming in with his hands up, and Bivol was just kind of tagging away at the guard and splitting the guard a little bit and going through the motions for 12 rounds. And speaking of going through the motions, even Dmitry Bivol, there was kind of moments in this fight I wanted to see him step it up. This was kind of his coming out fight, just to kind of go in there and say, hey, I can go ahead and knock a guy out, even quicker than Sergey Kovalev did, or I can beat him faster than, Carl Froch did, even though he's older. This was kind of his moment to add one of those common opponents to his resume and, blow him out. Especially, like I said, somebody like Jean Pascal, I don't really think Dmitry Bivol was ever really in any danger to not take a chance in this fight. You have to kind of look at a fighter's body language. If you kind of feint them a little bit and see how they shell up, you can kind of tell what you could do to them. And I felt there was a lot of times, Dmitry Bivol, he was having his way. He was landing throwing a lot of the straight shots that were just kind of hitting the guard. But if he was able to do that all night, and he was even hooking to the head, to the body, he could have just hooked all night until he could have, finally stopped Pascal, instead of making, 12 rounds of trouble for himself. But all in all, in this fight, I think Dmitry Bivol, he just fought a patient 12-round fight. But, I know, like myself, if you can get a guy out of there, get him out of there, and I think he could have got him out of there. He was able to stop a guy like Sullivan Barrera, who I think, way, still way fresher and, miles better than Jean Pascal. So I was waiting for him to kind of step on that gas. But even Dmitry Bivol in this fight, he didn't show that level up. He didn't show that level up where it was like time to get this guy out of here. Some people knocked Terrence Crawford, his win over Jeff Horn, which went 8 rounds. And at least Terrence Crawford, he knew that he was dominating him, so he stepped it up in that 8th round. You know what I mean? People keep thinking he could stop him a little bit earlier, but hey, he put on a show, then he stopped him. Where Bivol in this fight, I felt like, hey, you already outclassed him, outpunched him the first half of the fight. Go ahead and step on the gas and knock him out. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to kind of be looking at now. They're going to kind of be looking to see, hey, is this the guy got the has he got that gift in him, man, to go ahead and blow guys out and move on to the next one? Or is he going to be making 12 rounds of trouble for himself? But all in all, it was just a stay busy fight for Dmitry Bivol. Like I said, can't really knock him. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do as far as being a patient fighter and winning. But from here, no more guys like Jean Pascal. I just want to see him in there with some of the top contenders, maybe somebody in the top 5, the WBA, or I want to see him in there with the Adonis Stevenson, Alexander Usyk winner, or the Alida Alvarez Kovalev winner fights, or even go after Beterbiev next. Go after Beterbiev. But it was also recently stated in an interview that Bivol, he said, hey, he would move down to super middleweight for a Canelo fight or a Callum Smith fight. Now, I would like the Callum Smith fight, but, Callum Smith, he's already looking to try to get a fight with Triple G. As far as the Canelo fight, I don't really like that fight. So you can already see that Bivol, he's trying to go after some big paydays. I don't blame him. This is the hurt game. He's trying to secure himself. But other than that, right now, before he tries to secure himself, he need to get these legacy fights intact. Try to go after these other champions. One of those fights got to be next. Sometime, in 2019. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this one. If you saw the fight, just let me know what you thought of it and what you think of Dmitry Bivol all in all. But make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.